Good evening and welcome to the Brevard Sports Network. Alan Slaughter-Zinski with you here live tonight in the beautiful Melbourne studios here in, downtown Melbourne. And I'm excited tonight because usually it takes me about, a week to 10 days, maybe 2 weeks sometimes to corral new head coaches in for an interview. But this has all happened so fast, and I couldn't be more thrilled tonight to have the new head basketball coach for the Cocoa Tigers girls varsity team, and a gentleman that has been a mainstay at that program as well for the last, I guess what? How many years have you been there now?
For about 6.
6 years now. It gives me a great honor tonight to bring on and introduce to the Brevard County community head coach Brian Waritay and JV head coach and assistant to the program, Mr. Corey Johnson. And first of all, Caleb, let's give him a round of applause because I'm telling you right now, listen, let me just say this. One of the most popular head coach, if not the most popular head coaching post we've ever put up, 165 reactions, 71 comments, and 60 shares, Coach Waritay. You're a pretty popular guy, man.
Man, look, I appreciate it. It's just it speaks more to the people I've had the ability to. It speaks more to the people I've had the ability to impact and come in contact with over these years here being in Brevard County, and I'm just really grateful for it. So I appreciate all the love, support for myself, but especially for the program. We want that same energy come winter.
Right.
Pull up to the games, support the girls, support the program. Man, we're excited about it. Excited about it.
Now, Coach, you have, not only is this an outstanding hire and a popular hire, but it's what I like to call an incredibly intelligent hire in terms of your background, your experience. Before I ask you why the Cocoa Tigers were the right job at this time for you, because looking at your resume, you probably could have handpicked any open job in this county that you wanted to apply for. But tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Man, as you mentioned, man, I've been here really in Brevard County since 2011. And funny enough, shout out to Mike Ford and the Cocoa YMCA. I started coaching at the YMCA there in Cocoa, right down the street from Cocoa High. And I just wanted to be able to give back to the community. When I first moved down here, I actually had looked up some things just about Cocoa, but something that really stood out to me was about the youth, right?
Right.
I noticed that at the time, more than 60% of the youth in the area were listed as homeless, meaning defined as they did not have a bed that they could call their own, for a full week.
Didn't know
they
that.
were on multiple beds a week, and I had a heart for the youth, man, and I was like, what's something I love? Basketball. Let me find a way I could give back. And man, I was at the YMCA, and Mike Ford gave me an opportunity to be a coach there and volunteer. I did that for a little bit, and then really appreciate Coach Ruben Williams over there at Rockledge. He then gave me an opportunity.
He's a mainstay. 10 years coaching that team. And, a lot of people may not know this, but they have, and we're going to talk about this because there's a rivalry there because I'm curious. They haven't had a losing season over there since 2011. So and Coach Williams has done a terrific job. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
He has. No, I think that speaks a lot to his ability, his skills. He's an awesome man, man. I love him to death. I love him to life, man. Him and his wife, his family. Great program. And so I learned a lot. And so to speak to the competition level over there, it's like, man, I love him, but hey,
it's time to win.
All bets are off when we go head to head. You know what I mean? I absolutely love him, and I look forward to being able to compete against him. Awesome program, awesome girls, and everything. But I love what we have and what we're building at Cocoa. I think that one of the things that really drew me to the position, because I know you asked that as well. So yes, I've been able to coach there at Rockledge for 9 years. Something that drew me to Cocoa for one reason was they were always competitive. I mean, the girls would compete. No matter what the county or the people said their skill was or their talent level was, they always competed. They always came to play. We had battles with Coach Corey,
right,
and Coach Asia and those before her. So, I mean, man, every time it was going to be a battle. Not just because it was a rivalry game, but because there were a program of girls and people that would fight and compete. And the community of Cocoa, man, the way they support and show up for that team in that school, man, it's unmatched. It's awesome.
You're similar to Ryan Schneider, the football coach, in that, he took over for Wilkinson. You're taking over for Asia Patrick. Do you feel any pressure? Is there any pressure you feel in? Or, because, and when I when I say his experience, you've been in an NBA office, from top to bottom what this level of competition is and what it requires. But do you feel any pressure taking over at Coco?
Man, I think the pressure comes naturally with the position, right?
Right.
I'm going in. These people are trusting me to do a couple things, right? Trusting me to lead the program to that next level on the court. But also, these parents are trusting me with their kids.
Absolutely.
These teachers, the administration, they're trusting us with these students, right? And taking them to that next level. And so I don't take that lightly. So the pressure, yes, to win on the court is absolutely there because I want to uphold and extend and go even further with the success that they've had over the last several years. But not only that, man, I have a responsibility to these girls. And even when I was at Rockledge, that was one thing. And now I'm over the entire program as well. Man, that's even heightened.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that now I have a middle school, right? I get to work with the middle school program
right.
too, and that's exciting. And so I think that pressure's a privilege, man. I saw that quote the other day.
I like that. I've never heard that.
Yeah, nice. Man. That means things are expected of us,
right?
And people trust you enough to go and compete and do some things. And it's a privilege to be thought of in that way. It's exciting and humbling to see the love and success that the program showed, but that the community has shown to us with this hire. And now it's just time to go out and perform. You know what I mean? Time to prepare and perform.
From the Charlotte area, we were talking beforehand. You graduated from Harding University in Charlotte, home of the Band of Gold. If you don't know who the Band of Gold is, the Band of Gold.
Shout out to Harding University High School, HUHS Rams.
That's
man.
right. That's right. The Band of Gold back in 2009. They were the only high school band selected, if I remember, out of the state of North Carolina to go play at President Barack Obama's inauguration, and they are a magnificent high school band, no doubt about it. They are very similar to Heritage and what the Heritage Panthers do down there. Coach Corey, did you say 6 years at Coco?
Yeah, about 5 or 6. I lose track after 3, I think.
You, Coach, you stay, and so tell us, you are a unique situation because I remember the first time you and I did a basketball game together, I was stunned to find out where you had attended high school. Rockledge, right?
Yeah.
So you're a Rockledge grad, coaching at Coco. But your love for the Coco Tigers girls basketball program, talk about that.
So I started at Coco probably like 5 or 6 years ago. Started at middle school. Appreciative of Coach Patrick hired me as a middle school coach. Before, I'm not trying to be cocky, but before I got there, the middle school was kind of struggling a little bit. High school was always successful. They were doing pretty good. Middle school was kind of struggling, so I stepped into a tough situation. But after 1 year, we got girls out there. We girls improved in their game, and the middle school and went ahead to
win championships.
Yeah. Coach Patrick came down, coached middle school a couple other times, a couple years or whatever. But that's where I started at middle school, and then I got the opportunity to move up to the JV level, and it's been just nothing but success.
No doubt.
From middle school and JV and varsity since I've been out there.
The hire of Coach Waritay, as I said, was very popular in the community. For you, and I'm going to ask this question. Do you want to be a head varsity coach? I know your job prevents you from doing a lot with time because you have a very important job.
Yeah.
But is there a time that's coming when you want to be a varsity head coach?
So I don't know if you knew this, but my dad was a varsity head coach.
Okay.
He was the varsity head coach at Rockledge Boys for about 10 years.
I did not. I apologize. Yeah. I should know that,
so
but okay.
Coach Reggie Johnson.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So I've been in basketball for a long time.
Right.
And of course, like right now, like you said, I am involved in a lot of things.
Right.
Not only my main 9 to 5, I also have a family and a 8-year-old daughter. 8-year-old daughter that needs she's coming up in the basketball world. And, with everything I have going on, I want to be able to give a program. If I'm going to be the head of the program, I want to be able to give it my all. If there's any doubt, that I can't give it my all at that time, I'm willing to sit back and let good guys like Coach B, take lead.
That is an extremely unselfish thing, Coach. And it's obviously, to have a guy like Coach Corey in your corner coming aboard, it's got to be a big thing. And so tell me how the Coach, because I think I know the entire community was shocked. I got the text that Coach Patrick was stepping down the day of a high school football spring game. I immediately stopped everything I was doing to make sure I got a post up that she was leaving. So how quickly did you know that, what, this is the job I want?
Man, to be honest, when it first got posted, I wasn't interested at the moment.
Right.
And I figured out what it was. It was a combination of things, and God called me out on it. It was two things.
Okay.
The first thing was comfort.
Okay.
I was real comfortable where I was.
Sure.
I was with a great coach, great program, knew the girls, fit into my role, and I was comfortable there. And I was like, okay, I can see this through, and when it's time, I'll figure out the right thing.
Right.
And then also the other thing was, I think there's a different level of focus that you have to have in preparation. And I was thinking of, my schedule and all the other things I do in the community. Is that something that'll work? Well, really, when I boiled it down, it's more of a habitual thing.
Gotcha.
Right? I had to make sure the right habits are in place. But I was actually fighting a mindset that happened from last year.
Right.
I'll explain more. Some people know I tore my patellar tendon in my left knee last year. I was busy getting ready for an adult league, and that was a terrible decision. Look, I'm retired for real.
I'm retired.
Just in case you were trying to recruit me, I'm retired. But no, so when that injury happened, it was February 17th of last year. And I had surgery the week after that, and then I wasn't cleared until February 1st of this year.
Wow.
Shout out to Functionally Limitless Physical Therapy in Merritt Island. They did a great job helping me get back. Travis Boersma, Will Boatwright did a great job because part of it's physical, but the other part is mental. Yeah. So for that year, I was fighting thoughts of, man, I'm not physically where I need to be right now. I can't fully give my all to the girls. Right. I really wanted to do that. So I was coming to practice and I was trying to give my all, but I was coming from physical therapy or I was having a bad knee day and I wasn't fully able to give what I'm used to giving.
Right. Because you want to get out there and mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, man. I want to get out there and I want them to see the passion I've loved for the game and for them as well. And I didn't feel like I could do that consistently. Even in games, sometimes I would feel mentally or physically drained in the middle of the game. And at that time, that's what I was feeling. Man, fast forward to when then after I thought about it and prayed about it, man, I was like, you know what? Man, this is all me. I'm in my head, man. I'm over here thinking about, man, I'm not ready. I'm not this, I'm too comfortable. Nah, man. I've been able to put some things in place. I've got some great people around me that have supported me, like Coach Corey was talking about, talk with me about it and seeing the position, getting an idea of what the school's like, what the people are like.
Right.
And I just had to step out, man, and not be afraid. The same thing I usually have to coach my girls into doing, I was doing.
Right.
I was like, don't be afraid to fail. Preach, right? Yeah. I was like, don't be afraid to fail. Get out there and give it your all. And if you mess up, so what? But you're going to do it with the right heart. You're going to do it with the right passion. You know your stuff, so just go out there and perform. That's it.
I knew it was funny because when I read Coach Karsten's release, it says, Coach Waritay brings incredible enthusiasm, energy. And right there, I stopped and chuckled a little bit because I remember you from Victory in those services in the morning, and the energy that you had was absolutely incredible. I mean, I loved it. It was phenomenal. All right, so let's kind of tie some things in here because I'm curious about a couple of things, and when I get curious,
okay, all right.
When I get curious, the community is like E.F. Hutton. Everybody wants to hear what you're going to have to say now. Okay. Excuse me. All right, so we know that, Cocoa girls basketball over the last 8 years has averaged 16, 17 wins a season. So obviously it doesn't have to be rebuilt or retooled, but maybe re-energized. I don't know. But the bottom line is, what will Cocoa Tigers girls basketball be moving forward?
Can I answer that first?
Go for it.
there's no drop off. Of course, Coach Pat, much respect. She did a good job at there. But with the girls, we have leaders, leaders that were left behind, leaders that over the summer that even built more leadership roles with their travel programs or just in life in general.
Right.
And I'll name them later on. But skill level, we have the skill level we need. We have the support we need. There's not really the biggest loss. I think, of course, it's Coach Pat.
Coach Pat, right.
And the fried chicken in the concession stand.
I got you. I hear you.
Those are the biggest.
World famous.
I don't eat at schools often, but
We're
I
gonna be
did
good.
that. I did there.
We're gonna be good, and I got some aunties that's gonna take care of that for me.
Okay. Now, I don't. Look, I know. You all right? Yes. Yeah, I know that. Coach Pat was. It was frustrating for all coaches. And I talked to her, from the COVID on and about how so many games got canceled. And a lot of programs and coaches' mindsets seemingly didn't seem to recover from that. In other words, coaches soured on being high school coaches after that entire COVID experience. There's been a tremendous turnover in all sports. And I don't know if it's related to that or other issues. But I do know that basketball in this community is very closely connected at all levels. And when I say all levels, I mean from youth to club to high school. Now, I am beginning to learn this, and I will tell you this the hard way on a lot of occasions, because a lot of parents don't hesitate to send me emails to educate me as to the pitfalls of club sports. But I will ask you, you both coach for one of the best club in East Coast United. How does club sports and high school sports now all tie in together in Brevard, in this community?
Relationships.
Okay.
Relationships is big. And I would just want to give a shout out to Coach Carson's for, supporting outside sports. Because, one thing that he realized that he made it, a point that outside sports helps home team.
That's correct.
So if you girls, basketball only lasts, 3 months out the year?
Right.
If that. So girls need, not only girls, just athletes in general, if you can get them going year round, it comes back to your program, and your program benefits off it. And if you're a coach or parent, a player that's against outside sports other than your school, it's just selfish.
You have to open your mind to it. You really do, because to watch the progress student athletes make from 1 year, like you said, it's only 3 months, right? I was never an advocate for 7-on-7 football. Hated it. But then I watched what these quarterbacks and these receivers and even defensive backs were able to learn and get from that speed, quickness, agility. And I thought, well, you know what? They got to do something, not to mention the fact that what else are kids supposed to be doing out there, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, but you just had a successful trip to Indiana. Tell us about that.
Oh, man. It was, so I coached the team Richardson, the ECU's the 2023 team.
Right.
I've been with my group of girls probably since they were like, I think 7th, 8th grade, most of them.
Wow.
And this their last rodeo. This year we played in the elite top level competition.
Yeah.
There's we have 323 teams, and two other teams played in the top level. There's like 5 levels, and
Gotcha.
the other one played in the one right up under the top level. We played 12 games
In 3 days.
No, it went for what?
Oh man, about a week.
Okay. I was like,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and 11, 12 games. I think 11. And we went 7-4
Nice.
against some like D1 prospects. girls. Going
Tough teams.
Tough teams. So for us to come out 7-4, all the teams actually, all the 23 teams had a successful winning week, and we got to follow up with it next week.
I tell you, Coach, EJ Murray, right? Mm-hmm. I'll never forget because I thought one time, because I know how, and I'm sure. How are you? How's your thinking on scheduling? Schedule the best. Is that how you think?
That's what I want to do, man. I want to test this out. Hey, speaking of scheduling, I'm still trying to get games. So, hey, look,
there you go. Tell them.
If you're out there, you're looking for a game, talk to me. We'll have a conversation. Maybe we'll be able to find a date that works.
We ain't scared.
Yeah, we're not scared, man. I look at it like this, man. You know, the better I can prepare the girls in the season, you know, one, skill level wise, part of that preparation is on the coaches, absolutely. But then get them in situations where they have to go against teams that are tough, challenge them, so that when you get to the playoffs, because that is the game plan. Don't get it twisted, y'all. Just because it's a change, it's still the game plan. Get to the playoffs and have success. You can't be afraid to play those tough teams.
No, because you're gonna have to play them. And I'll never forget, he played a team when he was down at Florida Prep. Played Miami Country Day, and I thought, what is he doing? Right? And they came up to Florida Prep, and he's like, you want to come out and broadcast it? I was like, oh, okay. We're going to broadcast this. And we did, and Miami Country Day beat them by like 40, 50 points, but they never lost another game the rest of the year and went on to win a 2A state championship. That's how it works, right?
There it is.
That's how it works.
And so, you know, I'm so excited about the connection now to see all of it come into fruition and how it's going to work out. So tell us, have you had a chance to talk to the girls? Have you met the girls, or how has any of this worked out for you so far?
Man, I've had a chance to have conversations with a couple of them. Still working on getting to every one of them, getting some numbers and trying to get in touch with them to have that conversation. Because I definitely want to make sure that they know that they're valued, and that they know I'm here. I'm in it for them. I'm in it for y'all as a community, and that's not going to change. And so I think that a lot of things can go through their head. It's like, oh, man, the coach we had was gone. I mean, it's good. Coach Corey's still going to be there. That's cool. But I might not know this Brian guy. I might not know this Coach Brian guy. Right. And so I want them to get a chance to know me if they don't. Hopefully they've seen some of the love that's been shown to BSN Network and to the Cocoa Tiger program with the hire. Hopefully that gives them some confidence.
Girls calling.
With it. Yeah. Look.
Get in there.
I'm very accessible. Call me. Don't worry about it. Any questions, I got you. We'll have that conversation. And I'm excited to also get ready for workouts. So we'll be starting that coming up very soon.
Tell me a little bit about in terms of where that first game against Rockledge and how you're going to feel standing on that sidelines, looking over Coach Williams. Yeah. I mean, it's on from because you know how that goes, right? Ain't nobody going to let you settle into feeling comfortable, right? Yeah. It's right from the tip. So talk about that.
Exactly. Look, before the tip, it's funny, we had this conversation. And I said, man, before the tip and after the tip, it's all love. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to get a big hug.
Right.
Show some love, chat a little bit. I'm going to go hug Miss Linda. I'm going to go hug Peaches. I'm going to go hug I'm going to hug all of them. But the moment it's time to get ready for that game, even before the JV game starts, it's time to get ready. You know, we're locked in. You know, the preparation is going to be there because there's a separation, right? It's like, hey,
sure.
As much as I love my time there, you know, I'm also a competitor as well.
Right.
You know? And I'd be lying if I say I didn't want to win.
Here's a good question for the both of you, and I'm going to give this one to you first, Coach Corey. Okay. What, for those that don't know you, if there were one thing people should know about you and the type of coach that you are, what would that one thing be?
Sacrifice.
Talk about it.
I sacrifice a lot and I have a passion for the game. And, sometimes, a lot of people probably won't agree. Like, I put a lot into basketball. And, the reason being so, I never thought I'd be coaching girls basketball. I had with my stepdaughter. She's a teenager now. Stepdaughter a while. So I'm like, dang, girls basketball is not that bad. Then I turned around and had a daughter. So I'm like, dog, I'm really locked in now.
Yeah, premonition.
And then it's just a different culture, a different culture, which is big, which is big in just coaching in general.
Well,
you know?
to sacrifice the fact that you can't give 100% to something you have to give 100% to, it's not only unselfish, but it shows your willingness to sacrifice. Coach Waritay, what's that one thing that people should know about you?
Man, I'm a servant leader.
Mm-hmm.
I think any good leader has to have a certain awareness about them.
Mm-hmm.
You're not doing it for you. I'm not power hungry. I'm not doing this for all. Matter of fact, if I get no recognition, that's even better, because that means people are seeing what the girls are doing on the court. That means they're seeing what they're doing off the court, and they're saying, you know what, those girls are playing hard. They're doing their thing, and they're gonna succeed, hopefully on the court, and then later with their careers and with life.
Yeah.
And so I'm there to serve. I'm there to serve Coach Corey and the other coaches I'm going to fill out my coaching staff with. I'm there to serve them, help them be better coaches. They're going to help me in the games, of course, and serve me, as well as the girls. So we're all serving each other. And I think to set the tone for the program, and I think for people to understand that life is about giving, man. I'm not a taker. God bless me with the ability to do certain things. And I want to be able to bless with as many people as possible with those things. And so for me, in this scenario, it's going to be basketball, right? My basketball knowledge, as you mentioned, I've had the ability, and I'm really grateful to be able to work with the Charlotte Bobcats. I was up there with Coach Larry Brown, Coach Jeff Capel.
You ever meet MJ?
I did multiple times.
All right, tell me about it.
Man, the GOAT.
Yeah, all right.
I know it's going to get some
probably couldn't touch him.
Right. Hey, look. I got a couple handshakes, a couple conversations. Every morning I had to bring a nice little hoops hype printout for some news.
Nice.
Just to. I mean, it was really surreal, because just kind of seeing how the front office, how they all function and everything. But also I was really excited about it, because I got to see how Coach Brown coached his team. It was really simple.
Right.
Like, he was super big on fundamentals. So MJ, the Michael Jordan, he was still at a distance, right? He didn't want to meddle or interfere too much, which I appreciated. It was good, because he was just there to let Coach Brown do his thing. But with that, as a person, man, he was real chill to me. Anytime I interacted with him, he was good.
That's
he knew what he wanted, and he would ask for it, and he would get it, of course.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But man, the top class organization, the Charlotte Hornets, of course, hometown team now.
Aside from the fundamentals and the coaches that you've worked under, played for, who are some of the coaches that you've looked up to in your life?
Yes, great question, man. A few coaches come to mind. I'm going to try not to give you all the coaches.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely love Pat Summitt. Tennessee, great. Arguably the GOAT. Of course, you could bring up Gino Auriemma.
Doubt.
Yep. It's fun fact, when we were in Indy and Kentucky, we saw Gino out there. He was checking out some of the games.
Oh, did you now?
It was great seeing him checking out some of the East Coast United games.
Talking about somebody with no filter, but go ahead.
right. Yeah. Man, and I'll give it an old school name that I used to study, man, because Coach Pat had the pyramid, but Coach Wooden, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved him. So, I mean, there was a lot of coaches. Coach K, I'm not going down the line. There's so many. So I really studied those guys.
What's the biggest thing you think that, as a head coach, that you need, aside from serving, that you need to project to your team?
Oh, man, that's a great question. Selflessness. Really, sacrifice. I think Coach Corey put it great, man. Sacrifice. I mean, anytime you go into not just a team sport, but when you're out there in life for real, it's sacrifice. You got to be willing to do more for others. So if I'm part of something greater than myself, and I'm willing to sacrifice for the person next to me, my man-to-man defense does not just turn into, oh, man, she got beat. That's crazy. Oh, we just gave up a layup. All right, well, I was with my man. No, it turns into, man, my teammate got beat. I need to be in a position to help her succeed, because we're going to succeed as a team. So getting them to understand that it's bigger than just them in that situation, bigger than me, that's gonna be key.
Before Coach, I ask you this, I want to encourage everybody out there. If you have any questions for Coach Corey or Coach B, just kick them out into the comments section. Do we have any? Okay, well, that's a good thing. All right, because everybody's confident the job's going to get done. So
I wanted to add one thing on that sacrifice culture. I think I mentioned it one time earlier. That is huge.
Right.
That's the base of a successful team, organization, just life in general.
I was going to ask you, student athletes today, and you talk about culture. Student athletes today, a lot of them, not all of them, some of them, because there is so much available to them, there's some entitlement that goes on. There's, a lot of kids walk on the floors now because mom and dad have said they are very good at doing this, this, and this. How do you how do you culture that to say, you know what, now you're in high school and this is how this begins? Or is that something that is built relationship-wise through club sports?
I wouldn't say necessarily through club sports.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that I learned more about culture. I played basketball my whole life. Culture really didn't stand out until I got with ECU, and I'll be totally honest with you. Just the way the extrinsic factors, the outside factors, just the girls in general, anybody that's within the organization. I know you've seen videos when a simple layup is made, the whole gym just erupts in cheering.
Right.
I don't know if you've seen a video a couple weeks ago posted of my team, Richardson. They won a dance contest in the middle of a
I did see that.
In the middle of that. When you're talking about culture, it's not always basketball.
Right.
It's more things. It's more factors to that and building that.
But it ties into sacrifice too, because the student athletes need to know that they're not going to give you their all if they don't think. Because if they're going to sacrifice for you, today's student athlete, I wasn't like this because I didn't know my coaches. Now it's a personalized deal in every sport. If they don't think that you're sacrificing, so I mean that's probably one of the, if not the top trait to have.
Exactly.
Any questions out there? Or are we good? Oh, that's a good thing.
I got a couple girls on the live.
On the live, tell
y'all
them.
See me keep looking down. I'm looking at my phone.
Yeah, he's looking. He's checking it out.
We appreciate you all tuning in, man. BSN
Shout out
Network
to
doing some great things.
Mariah Parks, Merck. Out there. She's gonna be a returning player. The Kayla Green, she played.
Oh yeah.
KG had an awesome weekend. She
Yeah.
played with us on our 23 team. KG.
She's funny.
She's a leader too.
Yeah.
She's a leader, and she built that.
Yeah.
That.
What will, and Corey, this is a question for you. What will Coach Pat's legacy be at Cocoa?
Oh no, Coach Pat. She did her thing. Of course she was the first coach to take the team to a Final Four in a while. I don't know if it happened before that. I don't know the history back before that.
Right.
So she did her thing, and
I'm gonna miss interviewing her.
She's gonna be missed by some.
She played defense, Coach. That's that. Every time I ask Coach Pat, "What are you doing? What is going to happen out here today?" Alan, we're going to play defense, and that's all I'm ever going to tell you. What is the game plan? In other words, the literal game plan. Is it defense? How are you going to stack it up?
Oh yeah. She left on defense. We're gonna continue on defense.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, defense. High energy.
Yeah.
High energy, fast tempo. I don't think we're gonna have we didn't have a big team last year when it comes to bigs. So the only way you're gonna win games is you just got to run them.
Yeah.
You got to run your opponent.
Get ready, girls. You're going to be running.
That camera going to be going like this.
Yep. Absolutely.
As we get set to wrap up here, guys, I want to turn it over to you because I want to make sure we touched on everything. If there's something we didn't touch on or something you want to say to the community to let them know that things are going to continue to grow, the floor is yours.
Yeah. I just want to, give a shout out to, Jonice Barcine. She's one of our returning players. Nikayla Green, Mosley. I know I'm forgetting somebody. Merck, and just everybody's returning. Everybody that's, potentially incoming. We're gonna have a system. Lay Pratt, Bree. We're gonna continue to have a positive system. We're gonna build that culture. And we're going to have a process, a trustworthy process. And if you trust the process, everything's going to work out, and we're going to have fun. We're going to win a lot of games, and we're going to be successful. And I see a bright future, not just next year, not just the year after that. We can start this thing, and shout out to the middle school coach, Coach Rianne. We have an advantage to be successful and start it all the way from middle school to varsity, and for many years.
I know that there's a chip on that shoulder heading into the middle school basketball season coming up now. Yeah, there's no doubt about that, to get that championship back. Coach, you're going to get the final word here. What do you want to tell the community?
And Tamaria, that should be yours. That's
Man,
Tamaria.
look,
That's Tamaria. It's Raider.
Tamaria, man, shout out to Tamaria Stanley. Shout out Pre. Much love to y'all, man. But man, I really want to impress upon the community, one, how grateful I am for the opportunity, how much I appreciate this, and I want you to know, I don't take it lightly. You know what I mean? Like I said, I mentioned it before. I got a responsibility to you all, to these girls, to have them compete on and off the court. We're in the business of building people. That's what it's about. If basketball is a tool, and we're going to be doggone competitive with it. Yes, we're going to play defense. We're going to run. We're going to have the right culture, the right mindset. That's the goal. That's the expectation. And the standard is the standard. That's not going to change. But in addition to that, also going to challenge them off the court. Because when this all ends, then what? How are you impacting the lives of those coming after you? How are you impacting the lives of those you're in touch with now? None of us in this room, period, will be in that situation without having someone that poured into us.
That's exactly right.
And now have an opportunity to do that. Man, me, Corey, and the rest of the staff, man, we're excited about it with the administration.
And I think it should be pointed out that the student athletes at Cocoa High School, I get tired of hearing that the student athletes at Cocoa High School, the grades aren't there. That is simply not the case. The student athletes at Cocoa High School have done an outstanding job with their GPAs. When we talk to the girls from the track team, 4.0. The football team is in the threes. It is incredible what the student athletes have done at Cocoa to raise those GPAs up there. And when you say off the floor, man, that's the first thing that comes to mind is the impressive job this school has done with raising those GPAs for the athletics.
And I tell a lot of parents, I find myself in that conversation a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of successful graduates from Cocoa High that are doing big things right now. So, if that's your reasoning for not sending your child to Cocoa, I can sit down with you for hours. And I got a list of successful graduates that are doing things.
One Brevard County student visited Yale University over the last 10 days. His name was Jaden Edgecombe, and he plays for the Cocoa Tigers football team.
There you go.
And
prime example.
In addition, and Principal Denise Stewart, look, she's coming in. She's like, hey, academics are gonna. It's not gonna be drop off. She's having good teachers on staff. They have a great administrative front office.
Right.
They have support system in place. Like, they have everything you need. And so hey, use those resources, man. We're going to get after it on and off the court.
I absolutely love what I'm hearing, and I know that those in the Cocoa community do as well. Our continued support, the coverage with the Cocoa Tigers girls basketball team, Coach Pat has treated us like gold, and we will continue to be inside that gymnasium broadcasting Cocoa Tigers girls basketball, as we will all over the county as well. There's some great coaching changes this year, like Coach Colin Turry down at Melbourne. Give him a call. He's looking for games too.
Yep.
Yeah. So give him a call.
I also want to give a shout out to a big shout out to, we had some volunteer coaches last year that were very helpful, beneficial to just the team. Coach Jazz and Coach Darryl Moody.
Okay.
Who had a very extensive coaching history in the past. I hope they come back out and volunteer with us, man.
It's the S's, the sacrifice, the serving, which will lead to the W's, the wins on the floor. For Caleb Brown, for Coach Brian Waritay, for Coach Corey Johnson, I am Alan Slaughter-Zinski. This is the Brevard Sports Network. Have a great night, everybody. And as always, make it a sports night.